Hi, I'm Dr. Pippa K. Pippa. And this video is going to be about the fact that I got my vaccination today. Let's start it off like this. There is a massive pandemic going on. A lot of people are getting very sick. And there are a lot of people who are at risk of becoming critically ill if they contract this virus, the COVID virus. I myself am at risk of contracting the virus because I work in a hospital and I work in healthcare. It's a patient-facing role, and I am expected to see patients with or without the virus, which is obvious and rightfully so. That's my job and duty. And I do work in A&E, and I'm on call, and if people have urgent trauma cases or urgent cases that need my attention at least, then I should be there, and I am there to help them out. Aside from that, when I found out about the vaccine, I was actually very happy because this virus is quite unpredictable. So some might say it is predictable, but that's an argument for a different day. It's unpredictable. It's spreading very violently. It's getting a lot worse. And now we're on a lockdown, which is even better. It's necessary, but it's painful in so many ways. So it is a great thing that we now have a vaccine. And in fact, now we have 2-3 vaccines. We've got the biotech Pfizer-BioNTech vaccine. That's my frustration at myself for not being able to say simple words. We've got the Oxford vaccine, and we've got a third one. Is it Moderna? Third vaccine. I had so many worries about the vaccine. So I'm not against vaccines. I'm not an anti-vaxxer. Although, no, I'm joking. I'm not an anti-vaxxer. But I'm for medicine. I give out medicine all the time. But if I can prevent the need to take medication, then obviously I will. And I think there's a lot of people that are like that anyway. But where needs must, you do. What were my worries? So I was worried about taking the vaccine. Why was I worried? One of my worries actually was because I was worried that I would have a bad reaction to it. I just was. Because I've had a bad reaction to it in the past. So that was one. The other thing was this is going to sound weird, but I didn't know if I needed to take it. So I'm just going to be honest. I haven't, as far as I know, contracted this virus in the past time since before now I haven't, as far as I know. And if I don't need to take something, I don't really want to. That's just my thoughts on it, okay? That's what my mind was thinking. But then I had to weigh it all up. I had to think logically. And I'm a big fan, if you ask any of my friends, big fan of the pros and the cons list. And I didn't write one out, but I just ran through the pros and I ran through the cons. And personally, so there's like different levels. There's personal level, there's on a local level, and there's on a not global, but like a wider national level. So on a personal level, I do think that I would get quite sick if I contracted this, because I'm not going to go into it, but I think that I probably would get very sick. Not guarantee, you never know that, but that's what I personally feel. So that's my personal feeling on this. On a local feeling, I am part of the BAME community, Black and Asian minority. Yeah, part of the BAME community. So obviously my immediate family, I feel, would be at risk as well. Then on a national level, there are a lot of elderly population, as well as the 40s and 50s, mid-range, and even younger people who have health conditions or not are at risk of being critically ill by this virus. And then I placed a different perspective on it. I thought, sometimes when you go on holiday, I'm just being honest again. Sometimes when you go on holiday, you know there's some vaccinations that you need to take. I took the yellow fever vaccination because I was going to Peru or something. So when I frame it like that, it changes the way you see it, because there has been a lot of fear mongering, and then the final slab, the cherry on top of the cake, was the fact that, boy, I've done a degree in genetics. Like, why am I even stressed? I watched a video on how it works, and then I read the pros and cons, and I read the signs and symptoms, and then I was like, it's fine. Maybe I can make another video about how it actually works, but not today, boy, not today. What I did want to do actually was, do you like that eye contact? What I did want to do today actually was I got given an information sheet, and it's just an information sheet about the vaccine. This is the card. I've done my first dose. I haven't done my second dose. Second dose was supposedly we're supposed to be 2 weeks after, but now in my hospital, I think probably a lot of places would put 21 days afterwards, so I'm having my second dose at 21 days from now. I have to keep that card with me when I take the second one. So, I actually really want some more tea. Okay. So, this is the information leaflet. So this particular vaccine is called the COVID-19 mRNA vaccine BNT162b2. So this leaflet goes over what it is, what you need to know before it, side effects. I'm not going to spend too long on it because this is a bit intellectual, a bit too intellectual for me. I'm joking. So, what is it? Vaccine. Duh. So, number 2. What do you need to know before you get it? Right, it says you have to make sure you're not allergic to anything in it. As far as I know, I'm not. There are some cases where they're saying not to take it. So, for example, if you've had a serious allergy to a previous vaccine, probably not a good idea. Though I know someone who went and did it, but they just let them know beforehand that that has happened in the past, so it could be possible. Then some people have had problems having the vaccine previously, so I guess they might go and try to have it again. So then there is, if someone has a severe illness like a high fever, understandably I don't think it's wise to get a vaccine when you're very sick. So I think that's one. Then another one is if you have a weakened immune system, like a HIV, or if you have a medication that kind of maybe depletes your immune system. And I can understand that one as well, because if your immune system is slightly down, it's a bit more difficult for you to utilise this vaccine, your body to utilise the vaccine correctly, because it might actually put you more at risk. Then the last one is a bleeding problem, bruising easily, or using medication to inhibit blood clotting. So that would be another risk actually. Then it says, wow, they're not doing it for children under 16 years old, which is interesting because wasn't there this whole thing about dentists not being able to administer vaccines because they can't, because they have this massive list of, not just dentists and anyone, a massive list of criteria to fulfill and CPD, I guess, to fill out and provide evidence for, and that includes children, safety of children. If it's not even being, I mean, children are 16 to 18, but if it's not even being administered under 16, why have they done this? If you're pregnant or breastfeeding, it's saying, whoa. It says as a precaution, avoid becoming pregnant until at least 2 months after the vaccine. That's a mad one. And then it has something about driving. Then it tells you about how much potassium and sodium is in it, and both is under 1 millimole. And right, how is it given? Well, they have it in a solution and they dilute it down. At the back, I'm pretty sure it's at the back, they told you exactly how much. Fine. Wow. Yeah, I bet. So there is a white solution in a multi-dose vial of 5 doses in a 2 milliliter clear vial. So you need to dilute it down to, give 0.3 milliliters intramuscular, which means into the muscle of your upper arm. And then you need 2 doses. Side effects. Right. So all side effects always are divided into very common, common and uncommon, and then sometimes rare as well. So here, very common are pain at the injection site, understandable, just pricked it, tiredness, headache, muscle pain, chills, joint pain, fever. I'm not excited about any of this. Fingers crossed not having any. I don't really want it. I mean, it's a small price to pay, but still interested. Then there's common ones, which is 1 in 10 people, up to 1 in 10 people. So injection site swelling. Redness at the injection site. That's not a big deal, is it? And nausea. Uncommon ones are enlarged lymph nodes and then feeling unwell. And then after you have the injection, they usually will want you to stay by and make sure you're not having an allergic reaction, and just be aware. if of any changes, or if you are feeling hot or anything like that. And then they have to store this medication in. They have to store it in a freezer between -80 degrees to -60 degrees. This is just in case, you know, you want to store it yourself, and that's why I'm giving this information right now. But yeah, store it in -80 degrees to -60 degrees, and then they thaw it, obviously, dilute it, and they have to administer it within 6 hours, and then after that they have to throw it away. So, right, I told you my worries. I told you about what I was thinking beforehand, a bit too honest, and then I went through the leaflet about what information he gave me. So I was a little bit, you know, uneasy beforehand, but after weighing up, I thought, for me, it was, well, not just for me, just for everyone, it is better if I get this vaccine, because by doing that I am minimizing the possibility of me A, contracting the virus, and B, passing it on to other people. And I do work with vulnerable people, I do work with people at risk, elderly people, and people and in general, just people. I do not want to pass it on if at all possible. And I do think this is important, and the benefits outweigh the risks here for me. I don't believe in peer pressuring other people in doing the same as I do and go for. I do believe in being informed. I don't believe in dismissing scientific argument because you don't like scientists. I do believe that you need to do your own reading and understanding, and be open to understanding how things work, how vaccines work, and doing things not only for yourself, because actually, really, if we're going to go into it, when you do things for your community and the people around you, you are inadvertently and indirectly serving yourself. That's how human dynamics work. So I went in, got my vaccination done, and afterwards I was fine actually. Probably helped that I was slightly distracted because I was listening to a webinar thing. Keep busy, that's the key. And right now, I didn't realise I bled through my t-shirt, but that's obviously because I just had a needle stuck in my arm. Feeling fine now, it's starting to get a bit achy. I'm going to pretend that it's not, you know, keep calm and carry on, stay strong. I'm feeling a lot better now that I guess it's done, and I didn't have a bad reaction immediately, so no immediate effect and reaction, no delayed effect or reaction, no delayed anaphylaxis or reaction. Have I looked at the site in the last hour? No, so I don't know. I do feel, yeah, a lot more calm about it, and even before my worries, actually, I did want my parents to have the vaccine, and I do believe that if you are at risk, that you should have the vaccine as soon as it is possible for you to have it. And it is actually very important for healthcare workers to also receive the vaccine. There probably are other populations that do need it that I'm not familiar with, but especially with the healthcare workers, you see so many people going off sick because they're either contracting it or they're isolating, and it's really bad for the services. And if you're watching this, you're probably a dentist, so you know that health is wealth, and if your health is not on top, it's like the base foundation of well-being. If your health isn't there, it's very difficult to go on top and continue to do. I think there are lots of people who might not have optimal health that are able to do things very well, but ultimately, if you can optimize your health, it is better. So things can't run if people are all sick. And the fact that there's so many people who are at risk of becoming critically ill, and that is honestly so stressful, obviously. So I will keep you updated, maybe. I'll probably keep you updated about how it's going. I mean, so many people getting vaccinations, and we're getting through it. People who are volunteering and people who are going out there and vaccinating are doing such an amazing job. Yeah. So to conclude, I was initially very worried about the vaccine. There were probably some other reasons why. And now I've had it, I don't really feel, I feel a bit more at ease, a bit more calm about it. And I do think overall the benefits outweigh the risks, and it's a really, really good job that it now exists, and I really hope that it can make a good difference in our future that we hope to have. Well, thanks for listening. And if you want to hear more of my terribly monotonous voice, then like this video, comment below. I'm sorry, that was the worst face I've ever made. And subscribe. And if you have any other ideas for what you would want me to film, or any questions that you have for me, please let me know, and I will think about it. Okay, see you.